Welcome to another episode of All Things Honor. I'm Kimmy. I'm back. Last week was crazy. I was traveling to Jacksonville. I worked a convention there with Haku, Alicia Fox, Tony Storm, and Trish Robinson. But I'm here. Last episode's late, but better late than never because we are talking about Ring of Honor TV episode 15, and we are going to talk all about those board of directors because it it's not working for me. But that's for later on in this episode because we have 12 matches to get through. So the first match we saw on last week's episode was Kyle Fletcher, representing Aussie Open, against Christopher Daniels. Now this match got a lot of time. A lot of time. If you've watched Ring of Honor since episode 1 to episode 15, you know that Daniels isn't really getting a lot of wins, so I wouldn't be surprised if retirement is in the future of Daniels and he's kind of transitioning to that backstage role of head of talent relations. But this match was really good. I mean, Fletcher and Davis are super talented. Obviously, they are Aussie Open. Unfortunately, Davis is hurt, so Fletcher's kind of running his singles career for the moment until Davis gets back. But Kyle Fletcher wins, and I'm going to assume you're going to see a lot more of Aussie Open. I mean, I believe Fletcher is on this week's episode of Ring of Honor as well. But this match was fine. It was fun. Cool. Next was Zach Clayton and Matt Sydal. And I had a problem with this match because I do not understand why we're still doing Matt Sydal versus Samoa Joe. Because we're obviously building, and I'm like I said last week, I'm going to assume this match is going to happen at Forbidden Door, just because to me it just makes more sense to happen at Forbidden Door than Death Before Dishonor. We're building the Samoa Joe versus Zack Sabre Jr. for either all the TV titles, one TV title, whatever the case may be. And we have Matt Sydal out here being like, yeah, I want the TV title. You lost already. Like, why? Why are we continuing the dispute if we're building to Sabre and Joe? I just don't get it. Um, I like that they're using Clayton in Ring of Honor. I mean, he is really only used on AEW if they're in the Northeast and they're in Jersey. So I was excited that he got to be used here. Sydal won. He calls out Joe for a TV title match. And yeah, why? Don't know. Don't get it. But I'm not the one writing the show. That is, I'm gonna blame the board of directors for that one. Next, we have Jurlistico versus Willie Mack, and this was fun. I think Jurlistico is starting to come into his own. I don't think he's like in the shadow of Preston Vance. I think it's just like Jurlistico himself, or even Roosh. I think, especially now that we have the news that Roosh left AAA, which means he's going to be on Forbidden Door in some type of capacity. But Mac is also such a great wrestler, and I know that the Ring of Honor talent is not signed; they're being paid per appearance. But this is one that you should sign because I think he could even be used in AEW at some point. Even on Collision, we have a whole show we have to build that's debuting this weekend. Jalisco wins by cheating. He hit the low blow behind the ref's back. The feud's not over, so I wouldn't be surprised if, Willie Mack gets Ninja Mac involved and we're going to get Jalisco and Roosh maybe versus the Max at Death Before Dishonor, which would be really fun. I think that would be a cool match. A couple weeks ago, the Max, they said that they were going to be back as a tag team, so that's where I think we're heading. And now we have this announcement. So Tony Khan makes Joe and Sydal official for the TV title next week. Why, again, don't know. He also says that he has so many responsibilities on his plate and he wants to do what is best for the Ring of Honor fans. And so he creates the board of directors. He will have the final say on anything the board of directors say, but they are allowed to come to him for ideas and all that sort of jazz. He chooses Stokely Hathaway and Jerry Lynn, who are honored. They're excited. And I was fine with it. I was following along, some of the things that were happening at the tapings. And when they announced this, I was kind of confused. I was like, is this in real life? Is this storyline? And obviously, this is storyline. And then we get to what happened later on, and I'm like, this is the most WWE thing I've ever seen in my life. Like, no, I just don't get it. I mean, to me, we don't even have like an authority figure on any other form of AEW TV. We don't see it on Dynamite, we don't see it on Rampage, we don't see it on Collision. And the only time we really see an authority figure is when TK is making an announcement. But besides that, it's like, why do we need one on Ring of Honor? I don't get it. Felt like it was fine without it, but that's for later on the show. Next, we have the New Japan Pro Wrestling Strong title on the line. First time ever. It's Willow versus Rachel Ellering. And, you know, it's very exciting to see Ellering back on TV since she left Impact 2 years ago. And Nightingale continues to just show why she's one of the top stars. And even though she wasn't supposed to win this title, she's doing a great job holding it. Willow wins, and I'm 98% sure this title will be defended at Forbidden Door. You know, I don't know if Mercedes is going to get cleared in time. I also don't know why, like, it's a broken ankle. A broken ankle takes like a month to heal people. So, you know, if she's healed in time, I'm for sure that maybe Mercedes will verse Willow. They'll do the rematch. Mercedes won the title. If not, Willow's going to wrestle somebody else. But for sure that this title is going to be on the line for Forbidden Door. Just feel it. Next, we have a six-man tag proven grounds match because we all know how much I love those. It's the Embassy versus Marcus Cross, Eli Isom, and Cheeseburger. So Brian Cage officially has the longest winning streak in Ring of Honor besides Athena, which is absolutely crazy. And the Embassy obviously wins here. Cool. I mean, nothing much here. I don't know. I don't really know what the embassy is going to be doing at the pay-per-view, but this was good. Cool. Embassy wins. Next, we have Mercedes Martinez versus Vert Vixen, and this was a total squash match. And this makes me so sad, not just because I'm friends with Vert Vixen, but she's been featured a lot in recent weeks. I believe every single taping they do in Orlando, she's always there. And I would have figured she would have gotten some offense here, and she really didn't. Martinez looked really, really strong. I mean, you have to remember when Athena beat her, she was fighting an injury. So if they're not going to do Kiera versus Athena at the pay-per-view, maybe they do Mercedes versus Athena, so Mercedes can try to fight for her title back. Don't really know, but nice to see Mercedes back. Next, we have Griff Garrison. Who the fuck is Griff Garrison, right? Brody Lee versus Lee Moriarty. And I think the thing is, Moriarty has proven so much on Ring of Honor TV that he needs to get away from the firm. Like he's a great wrestler. Like this is the wrestler that we saw on the Indies, and that's why I think I was so upset that like the Pure Rules match was on Rampage with him and Shibata. They've been building him up on Ring of Honor TV, and they had it on Rampage. I was like, why? Makes no sense. Garrison had a great showing. This was his first match back from an injury. Moriarty cheats to win. He's trying to climb the rankings and have his winning streak continue. Is this going to lead to a championship match? I have no idea, but Lee Moriarty is being booked quite well on Ring of Honor TV, so I expect big things from him for the rest of 2023. Next, we have Robin Renegade versus Kiera Hogan, and I have a problem with this because the Renegade twins need to stop trying to do twin magic. They are not twins. They are sisters who look alike, and I feel like it's such a WWE thing. Like we saw it in WWE, and the reason it worked with the Bellas is because when they first debuted, they looked exactly alike. You could tell the difference between Robin and Charlotte. To me, it just does not make any sense. I think they need to stop doing it. They can come and do their own. They don't need to copy the Bellas. So that's my thing. And don't like it. However, Kiera Hogan has definitely come into her own the last couple weeks. I remember when she first signed with AEW, a lot of people were like, why? Why is she signing with AEW? She wasn't even like that good at Impact. It's like, this is why she signed with AEW. And after the match, Athena attacked her from the behind, but she attacks Athena with a kendo stick. So it looks like when we do this rematch, I'm assuming it is going to be July 21st. It looks like there's going to be a stipulation. So no DQ match? Street fight? Whatever it is, very excited. Yay. Next, we have the Workhorsemen, which is JD Drake, Anthony Henry, and Shea Taylor versus the Dark Order, Silver, Odo, and Reynolds. This episode was very six-man tag heavy. I really don't know why. But you know what? Ring of Honor is going to do Ring of Honor. The Dark Order storyline at the moment is the most Dark Order has been used. And it's sad because Dark Order was extremely over and then they just stopped using them. And it's like, why? So seeing them used in a relevant storyline is very exciting. This new trios team of the Workhorsemen and Shane Taylor, obviously they're very new, so Dark Order was going to get the win here. And after this, the Righteous cut a promo, and they're not impressed with the Dark Order winning. They say the story of them is just beginning, and they have more surprises in store for the Dark Order next week. So I don't know what that really means, but this is going to be a huge six-man tag at the pay-per-view. I can feel it. Pretty excited about it. So yeah, I guess we'll see what happens Thursday. Next, we have the Trustbusters, Sonny Kish, Chivas K, and Slim J versus Action Andretti, Darius Martin, and AR Fox. Now, my thing is, I had kind of figured that Andrade and Martin were going to wrestle the Lucha Bros for the tag titles at the pay-per-view because they've been on like such a roll lately, and they have definitely like were on a roll in this match as well. But I'm like, why? Why do we need AR Fox? Not that I care. They're a great six-man team, but I'm like, you're building this tag team. Like, why do we need the additional person? And I think it is no coincidence that they're trying to hint at like, when Dante gets back, what's gonna happen? Andretti and Martin are really making this chemistry that means something. Keep that in mind when Dante gets cleared. The Trust Brothers had a great showing. Fortunately, wasn't enough. Andretti, Martin, and AR Fox win. Next is the Kingdom versus El Cobarde and El Dragon. Now, within the first 2 minutes of this match, Bennett was already busted open, and I'm like, come on, Mike. Why? Now, the Kingdom has gained 4 wins in a row since they've lost to Andretti and Martin, and I wouldn't even be surprised if they versus the Lucha Bros. To me, Andretti and Martin just make more sense, but the Kingdom is definitely getting on a roll too. Everything is just building towards this pay-per-view, which I am very excited for because I'm going. So this should be really, really fun. Now here's the board of directors. Here we go. So TK says that Stokely has thought of some great ideas, but does not know if he is going to execute all of these ideas. These include massive layoffs, which was a sub at WWE, getting rid of Lucha Libre, which was another sub at WWE, and putting Action and Andretti in a 4-on-1 handicap match against the entire embassy. I assume this was also a shot at WWE. Instead, TK comes up with a better idea, and the embassy will put the 6-man tag titles on the line when they wrestle Action Andretti, Darius Martin, and AR Fox. This is so WWE. I don't get it. Like, why? I just don't understand it for me personally. I don't think we needed it. I just think it's really stupid. Like, unless this is like building to something huge, this is very WWE. I hate it. Don't like it. However, this main event I did really like because it's Ray Phoenix versus Gravity, and this is the first time I've ever seen Gravity compete, and he's so good. And I think the thing about this match is they obviously both of them have very similar styles, so it was quick, it was fun, a lot of high flying. Like if you blinked, you were gonna miss a cool move, and Ray Phoenix gets the win as we close out this episode. So overall, I think the episode flew by. I still think there are a lot of matches and possibly too many matches that, obviously a couple weeks ago it was like 19 matches. Why are there 19 matches on Ring of Honor TV? Like, I don't think anybody has the answer to that question. The next couple weeks are going to be geared towards the pay-per-view as that's what we are building for. And like I said, those board of directors, unless it's building something big, it's gotta go. And that is it for me. And I will see you guys Friday as we dissect episode 16 of Ring of Honor TV.